Good morning, children. Today, let us understand the next part of the lesson, kinetic theory of matter. The kinetic theory of matter explains the existence of matter in solids, liquid, and gases. And the main postulates of kinetic molecular theory of matter are given in page number 14. You have to by heart these postulates, and this is the on basis of these points, this theory, matter exists in three states. Number one, every matter is made up of a large number of extremely small particles. They are called molecules. That's what we learnt in the last classes, how the molecules are the reason for the different states of matter. So every matter is made up of the tiniest particles called molecules and atom. The molecules are always in a state of motion, constant motion, rapid, and that also I explained in the last class. It moves from its place in any direction. That is called rapid random motion in all possible directions, any direction. So when it moves, it possesses, because of the movement of the particles, it possesses some energy. That energy is called kinetic energy. Any substance, any matter gets its energy because of the motion is called kinetic energy. When any energy, that potential energy moves, then it is called a kinetic energy. So the molecules possess some kind of energy in it due to their motion. That is called kinetic energy. And the attractive forces exist among the molecules. We know that the force, push and pull, is there in every matter, and every particle there in every matter tries to push or pull the other particle. That causes the intermolecular forces. So every states of matter has intermolecular force because of the motion. And there are two kind of forces exist in the matter. If same molecules, similar molecules, attract each other, the force which form is called cohesive force. And if different particles like water and the particles of glass makes different molecules, different particles, so different matter particles, when different matter particles causes some force, then it is called adhesive forces. So there are two different forces exist in matters. When same kind of molecules produce some force, that is called cohesive force, and different molecules cause any force, that is called adhesive force. Then kinetic energy of molecules increase with increase in temperature. That is why there is interconversion. When solid is heated, the particles expands because of the temperature. And what causes that expansion? Because of the increase in kinetic energy. When it gets heated, it gets more energy. So the movement of the particles will be higher than what it was. So the kinetic energy of molecules increases when the particles are heated up. Then the last postulate is, with an increase in intermolecular space, when one particle expands, it moves from its place, and other particle will get more space. So the magnitude of attractive forces between the molecule decreases. First, they were not getting enough space to move. Now, as one particle is heated up and it expanded and it moved from its place, that space is occupied by the other particle and there is no push or pull. So the intermolecular force decreases when the particles are heated up. Intermolecular space increases and the intermolecular forces decreases. Because of that, it changes from one state to other states. The magnitude of the attractive forces between the molecules decreases. So there are 7 points. So each point you should understand and learn it. And based on this kinetic theory, we will explain, we will understand the interconversion also. So the next part of the lesson in your book is change of states of matter. So first we learned the states of matter and we learn the properties of states of matter and the kinetic theory of matter. Now change of states of matter. How one state of matter change from its state to other state. For example, solid changes to liquid, liquid changes to gas, and gases again convert into liquid, and liquid again convert into solid. That interconversion. So how it changes? So before we learn that, there are some basic points you should understand. So what makes the change in it? Interparticle space and interparticle attraction differs from state to state, matter to matter. Therefore, the condition of changes of states of matter also different from each other. In what condition liquid will change from its states to gas, and in what condition solid will change from its state to liquid. First, let's understand solids. Solids have minimum intermolecular space. They have maximum intermolecular attraction. Push and pull will be more as there is no space. Hence, constituent particles are very closely packed in solids. Since the particles cannot move from the position to another, they have low kinetic energy. So as there is, we know that the motion of particles causes the kinetic energy, produces a kinetic energy. When it is not able to move from its place, how do they have the kinetic energy? So in solid, the kinetic energy is very low and cannot cause interparticle collision. Collision means dashing with each other. So there it is not. When in liquid, the last class I explained, when they can move in any direction and dashes the container and gets more energy and moves forward. But in solid it cannot, as it cannot dashes with the container, or it cannot collide with other thing. They can just have the little movement. The kinetic energy will be very low. But in liquids, the intermolecular space is more than the solids and less than the gases. They have intermolecular attraction less than solids but more than gases. Thus the molecules in liquids have kinetic energy more than the solids but less than the gases. But gases have more or the maximum intermolecular space and less intermolecular force of attraction. And the molecules in gases have free to move. So there is motion, free motion. So when there is free motion, the kinetic energy will be higher. So high kinetic energy you can find in gases, low kinetic energy in solids, and in liquids also less kinetic energy than gases. So the molecules of gases constantly move random manner. In any direction it moves and collide with each other and with the walls of the container also. It dashes and dashes and dashes and comes out of it. So kinetic molecular theory of matter also explains the interconversion. So let's see that how there is kinetic energy produces in solid. So solid, when it is heated, kinetic energy increases. As a result, the force of attraction among the molecules decreases and the solid changes into liquid. That's what I have given. The molecules of solid, when it is heated up, it moves and it melts and be converted into liquid. And the molecules of liquid, when it is heated up, it moves and gets more space and form its other state, that is vaporization. So by heating, solid melts, liquid vaporizes. So it is because of the motion of the particles. So the conversion of solid into liquid on heating is called melting. In the same manner, the conversion of liquid into gas by heating is called evaporation or vaporization. Now, but from gas we will get the other state, the next state to the gas, that is liquid, not by heating, by cooling. So the conversion of gas by cooling into liquid is called condensation. And after conversion of liquid by cooling into liquid, solid, is called solidification. So there is interconversion of all three matters. So it undergoes because of the kinetic energy. So here we have learnt how matter of three states of matter changes from one state to other state. And there are some important points to remember again. I said that by heating it melts, it forms solid, and by heating further vaporizes. There is one more conversion. If a solid changes directly to gas by heating, when solid changes to gas by heating is called sublimation. This is known as sublimation. So what is sublimation? Without conversion, without changes into liquid, when a solid is heated up, directly changes to gas is called sublimation. The same manner, when a gas is cooled, directly changes into solid without change into liquid is called sublimation. So there are interconversion. What are the terms? Melting, vaporization, and condensation by cooling, and sublimation. So solidification, condensation, vaporization, melting, freezing, all the terms you should understand. Sublimation is the conversion of solid into vapor without changing into liquid is called sublimation, and the conversion of gas into solid without changes into liquid is again sublimation. So here I stop the explanation. We will see the next part of the lesson in the next class. Go through the lesson from your text. Those who have not got the textbook, the PDF file is sent in your WhatsApp group. Open that pages and go through it and try to understand.